The ZU-23-2 is one of the important weapon systems of the last 60 years. This anti-aircraft gun, which has fought nearly every corner of the world, takes its name from the initials of Zenitna Ustanovka, which means anti-aircraft mount, and its bore diameter and the number of its barrels. But everybody respects it as a fearsome ground support weapon, not an air defense system. Now, we are investigating the ZU-23-2 and its many derivatives. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel before we start, and give us a thumbs up if you like our video. To be notified of our new video, please click the bell button. Also, now you can click the join button to support our channel. In the past 60 years, we can only mention a few conflicts which the ZU-23-2 did not involve. Other than the Eastern Bloc countries, the countries with close relations with the West, and even some NATO members have used it. Yet, the ZU-23-2 has left its mark as a highly effective ground support weapon rather than a fearsome anti-aircraft gun. Many users have developed the towed and self-propelled variants of the ZU-23-2. The jet era paved the way for the development of this legendary system. After the Second World War, the USSR had three different types of anti-aircraft guns. The first type was big, whose mission definition was to deal with the bombers which flew at high altitudes. The 85mm KS-12, 100mm KS-19, and the 130mm KS-30 had a very low turret turning rate and a rate of fire. They were not effective against jet fighters. The 37mm M1939 and 57mm S60 were developed against fighters and attackers, but their turret turning rate and rate of fire were also low against the jets. The 12.7mm and 14.5mm light anti-aircraft guns had a high turret turning rate and a rate of fire, but their effective range and altitude were not sufficient. So, in 1954, the Soviet Army demanded the development of a new anti-aircraft gun. The 23mm round was the most suitable choice. The KBP Instrument Design Bureau developed the twin-barrel ZU-14 prototype in 1955, which was followed by the single-barrel ZU-1 prototype 1 year later. After extensive field trials, the Soviet Army chose the ZU-14, which had a carriage with 4 wheels. But it was heavy. So the twin-barrel turret was mounted on a new carriage with 2 wheels in addition to some other improvements. The result was satisfactory. So the serial production of the new anti-aircraft gun, now called ZU-23-2, began in 1960. It became operational in the same year. The ZU-23-2 became popular in the Eastern Bloc instantly. Approximately 140,000 units have been produced in the Soviet Union. Some other countries, which had good relations with Moscow, produced the gun under license. Also, they developed their own variants. Many others copied it. Thanks to this big production number, today we can see the ZU-23-2 almost everywhere. Due to the success of the 23mm gun and ammunition, the USSR also developed the legendary ZSU-23-4 Shilka. Many users have mounted the gun onto the various vehicles and produced improvised self-propelled anti-aircraft gun variants. The original production variant of the ZU-23-2 has a crew of 5 persons. Its barrel length is 2.01 meters. The weight and firing position with ammunition is 950 kilograms. In the traveling position, the ZU-23-2 has a length of 4.57 meters, a width of 1.83 meters, and a height of 1.87 meters. The barrel can elevate between -10 to +90 degrees. The turret can turn 360 degrees. The theoretical rate of fire of the ZU-23-2 is 800 to 1000 rounds per minute for each barrel. Its effective range is 2500 meters. The anti-aircraft gun can be effective against the targets which can fly at an altitude of over 2000 meters. In the firing position, the wheels of the carriage of the ZU-23-2 are raised off the ground. The weapon is stabilized on its triangular platform, which has 3 screw-type leveling jacks. This process usually takes 30 seconds. In an emergency, the ZU-23-2 can fire in the traveling position. The cannons are gas-operated and have a vertical sliding wedge breech mechanism. Each 50-round ammunition box is located on the side of quick change barrel, which has flash suppressors. The barrels are changed after every 100 shots. Generally, the hot dismantled barrels are cooled down inside a water drum. Due to the time for barrel change and cooling down processes, the ZU-23-2's practical rate of fire is 200 rounds per minute for each barrel. The life of a standard barrel is 8,000 shots, but many users have upgraded their ZU-23-2 with more durable barrels. For example, Russia is now using the new barrels with a life of 10,000 shots. Its maximum range is 7,000 meters horizontally and 5,100 meters vertically. The BZT armor-piercing munition of the ZU-23-2 can penetrate 25 mm of steel armor at a range of 500 meters and 10 mm of steel armor at a range of 1,000 meters. Also, in 2008, Poland introduced a 23 mm armor-piercing discarding sabot tracer munition, which can penetrate 30 mm of steel armor at a range of 1,000 meters. The ZU-23-2 is operated manually. It cannot be operated with accompanying fire control systems. The gun has a conventional aiming device, so it is effective only in clear weather. Many users, such as Finland, Greece, Iran, and Poland, have upgraded their ZU-23-2s with electromechanical driving mechanisms and more advanced electro-optic aiming devices. So, these upgraded variants can be used with the fire control system. Also, they have gained all-weather engagement capability. We should add that the 90-degree barrel elevation angle is problematic for fire control computers. Because the tangent 90 is undefined, no computer can calculate the firing data at this angle. Poland also developed local variants of the ZU-23-2 called ZUR-23-2. These variants are coupled with Strela 2M, whose NATO reporting name is SA-7 Grail, or PZR Grom short-range missile. The 6x6 Star 266 truck-mounted variant of the ZUR-23-2 is the Hibneryt. The Type 85 is the Chinese copy of the ZU-23-2. Besides, China developed a reverse engineering variant named Type 87. This towed model has 25mm cannons and 40-round ammunition boxes. The Type 87 has also been mounted onto 6x6 trucks and YW-531 tracked armored vehicle. Furthermore, China is using a 4x4 based variant of the gun for special operations. The Sedad is the Iranian reverse engineering variant of the ZU-23-2. This remotely controlled model has an advanced electro-optic sight. Iran has mounted the gun onto the BTR-60 and the Lynx armored vehicles. Yet, Iran's most fascinating reverse engineering variant is the Mesbah 1. This 8-barrel anti-aircraft gun is a hybrid of the ZU-23-2 and GDF. Iran also developed a truck-mounted variant of the Mesbah 1. Due to time limitations, we cannot mention all the self-propelled variants of the ZU-23-2. Yet, we will talk about some major ones. Since the 1960s, the ZU-23-2 has been mounted on various trucks and pickups such as the ZL-131, Ural 4320, Gale 66, Toyota Land Cruiser, TPK 420 VCT, and VLRA. The Russian airborne forces are still using the BMD-based BTR-ZD. We can also see the ZU-23-2 on some other tracked armor vehicles such as the Borak, M113, BMP-1, and Khatem. Yet, the most preferred tracked platform is the MTLB. Also, some countries such as Cuba and Nicaragua are using the BTR-60 mount variants. As a NATO member, Greece has an interesting position in these efforts. The Hellenic army conducted some trials with modified BMP-1 with ZU-23-2 in Chios Island. It is interesting because both the vehicle and the gun are Soviet-made. We cannot reach data whether this self-propelled anti-aircraft gun has been taken into service. In South Africa, the ZU-23-2 has a different story. During the war in Angola and Southwest Africa, Cuba developed the Paquito. This CRAS 255B 6x6 truck-based AMRAP had been fitted with the ZU-23-2 for ground fire support. Also, the South Africans were very impressed with the ZU-23-2. During the war, at first they developed the Ice Effort which was a 20mm gun-mounted baffle MRAP variant, but neither the performance of the vehicle nor the gun was satisfactory. So, South Africa mounted the captured ZU-23-2s onto the 6x6 mine-protected Samil 100 trucks. In 1992, the new system called Boswark became operational. Later, it was renamed as Zumlac. The ZU-23-2 of the Zumlac can be worked together with the Mark II data transmission interface and Mark XI data transmission device. So it can be operated by using data coming from the radar, fire control units, and optical sensors with a laser rangefinder. There is an auxiliary power unit on the vehicle for turret driving. Also, Denel developed the advanced 23mm munition for the Zumlac. Namibia has also equipped some of its Werwolf Mark II MRAPs with the ZU-23-2. Let's take a look at some of the rare examples of the self-propelled variant of the ZU-23-2. After the annexation of Crimea by the Russian Federation in 2014, Ukraine began to use many improvised systems as an urgent solution. One of them is the BTS-4 Armored Recovery Vehicle-mounted ZU-23-2. To provide air defense for amphibious operations, Vietnam has mounted the gun onto the PTSM tracked amphibious transport vehicle. We can also see the ZU-23-2 and its derivatives on many naval vessels. It may be the most shocking to use the ZU-23-2 as a sniper weapon. Both the Ukrainian and the separatists in the country developed such guns. Actually, the combat use of the ZU-23-2 for air defense duties was not impressive. It was always an important threat for aircraft and helicopters, but the gun has never been a decisive system in combat. The US sources estimated that more than 80% of the US aircraft and helicopters shot down by anti-aircraft gunfire were hit by the ZU-23-2. But even though the rate is high, the number of aircraft which the ZU-23-2 shot down is still too low. In other wars, such as Iran-Iraq War and the 1991 Gulf War, the ZU-23-2s were extensively used. But there are no trustable records that shows how successful they were in these wars. Yet, it is certain that the ZU-23-2s could not affect the result. However, the ZU-23-2 has always been a respected adversary for ground fire support duties. The gun protected Soviet convoys in Afghanistan. Its high elevation angle of barrels and the rate of fire was the biggest problem for the Mujahideen attacking from the top of the mountains and cliffs. As a fearsome ground support vehicle, the ZU-23-2 proved itself in Lebanon. Some US officers claimed that its use for this purpose was against the laws of war. However, this claim remained as a controversial issue within the US armed forces. Since the 1970s, almost all non-conventional fighting groups in the Middle East and Africa have used the ZU-23-2s on pickups. This is currently one of the biggest problems of the modern regular armies. A pickup-mounted ZU-23-2 is cheap, fast, and lethal. It is perfect for terrorist and guerrilla groups. Many modern armored vehicles cannot easily pursue it. Also, their armors are vulnerable against 23mm kinetic energy rounds. The unmanned aerial vehicles are effective against the pickup trucks with the ZU-23-2 to some degree, but they are expensive to procure and operate. The manned aircraft and helicopters are even more expensive. Because of these reasons, today many countries are working on new vehicles and concepts. In this perspective, we can say that the ZU-23-2 is one of the weapon systems that define the criteria of current and future warfare concepts. We can mention anti-aircraft guns, which have left their marks in history. But it would not be an exaggeration to say that together with the German 88mm and Swedish 40mm guns, the 23mm ZU-23-2 is among the top 3 most influential anti-aircraft guns. It is undoubtedly a legend in its class. Thanks for watching our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up if you liked our video. To be notified of our new videos, please click the bell button. Also, you can now click the join button to support our channel.